Well, hey there, Tyler here, back with another drywall project video for you. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a time lapse of a closet that I did for someone out in the Lapeer area. Now, this closet was an addition to this room to make it count as a bedroom, and the homeowner had went ahead and already hung the job, so I was simply coming to make it look all nice and pretty. So to start off, what I did was I got a piece of metal corner bead and I went ahead and nailed that on the corner. I didn't need to put corner bead anywhere else because of the type of door that was going into the closet. Then what I went ahead and did was I mesh taped any of the joints. I don't mesh tape the corners just because, or the angles, because it doesn't give you a nice clean corner, and you can have some issues with that, and especially for the corners, that's where sometimes the walls are shifting a wee bit, so it's nice to have the paper tape there because it seems to grab a little bit better. So after meshing, what I'm going through and doing is paper taping everything now, and that's why I didn't mix up my mud to start, because this mud will be covered up later on when I go to coat everything. So that's what I'm going through and doing, is hitting all my corners. And then once I'm done doing that, then I'll be able to go through and start officially putting my first coat of mud on everything. Got some mud on the window right there, so I made sure to get that off. Sometimes if mud does get on something, whether it be a window trim or on the floor, sometimes it's easier just to let it dry, so that way you can just clean it up like one solid chunk rather than smearing it all over the place. Here you can see I'm putting the mud again here in this northmost corner. I don't think I caught it on video. I did catch my head in that ceiling fan, which is not the first time I've done that on a drywall job, so I think I need to be, yeah, see, I turned the fan off right there because I had hit my head. Probably knocked my head off too. Anyways, here I am using my faster drying mud. Depending on the size of the job, I will use 5, 20, or 45-minute mud, and then depending on how much mud I need will determine if I'm mixing it in my pan that I'm holding in my hand, or if I'm mixing it in a bucket and then scooping it out like that. What I'm first doing is starting by running my flats, which is where your two pieces of drywall with the bone edge come together, or the bones I should say, and then I'm going through and hitting my corner bead, and then I'm hitting all the screws. Now when you're running your angles, you only want to run one side at a time, and then you come back and hit it with your other coat to hit the other side. You can hit both sides if you're skilled enough, but I'm not quite there, but this is kind of the standard way of doing it to make sure you're getting a really nice clean corner, especially if you have some gaps in the drywall that was hung. This gives you the ability to, if you're not able to fill in an angle on your one run, you get to go back and hit it again to fill it up on your second run. So I'm just making sure I've hit everything, and there you can see I've got the first coat on, and I've made sure to clean it up as best as I can, so that way when I go to hit it with my second coat, the top coat or the finish coat, it looks really nice and pretty. So again, just showing you everything in the closet on the inside and the outside. This closet was a little tricky to do because the stool that I was using, I was either too tall or too short, so I was somewhere in the middle. Anyways, this is the mud that I use. The only reason why I use it is, well, there's a couple reasons I should say. One, the primary contractor that I do drywall with, this is the mud that he always uses, and every other contractor that is a finisher, this is the mud that they use. But there's a couple things behind it. One, it is cheaper to buy it in the box rather than the bucket. And secondly, this box can be thrown away. It can be recycled rather than me having to hold on to a bajillion buckets, which I don't know what I would use those for. Anyways, I'm going through now and hitting everything with my top coat. For any of your flats or your bone edges, instead of using your 10, now you use your 12 to fan it out a little bit more to officially fill in kind of the dip that the bone edge drywall has. Now I'm going through here, and you can see I cleaned up my metal corner. Thankfully with drywall mudding, thankfully everything can be sanded out. So I know as a finisher that even if something is a little rough, I can go through, sand it out, spot it, and it will be just fine. But as a homeowner, however, if someone comes to do drywall on your house, and especially as a stranger, you don't know this person doing work on your house, it can be a little discomforting to see a drywall job that maybe doesn't look nice and smooth prior to sanding. So that's something that I try to keep in mind and try to smooth it out as best as I can. There you can see I've gotten every other thing mudded, whether it's the other angles, either the corners. or just simply topped it. So I came back after the weekend to give it plenty of time to dry. On rare occasions will I come work on a Saturday, but I like to keep my weekends available. So I think I'm here back on a Monday or a Tuesday, sanding everything. I go through and I hit everything with a pole sander, and then I'll go through and hand sand everything. And it's at this point that I like to sand with a flashlight. I like sanding with a flashlight because it really allows me to see any edges that I've missed, though you can feel them with your hand when you're sanding, but it also allows me to see some weird divots or things that are in the mud that I might not pick up on. And paint can be a little forgiving, but still I want to try to give the nicest painting surface that I can give. There is the finished product, and I don't show in this video, but I do take a rag after I'm done sweeping and I go to clean up any of the mud chunks that are on the floor. And there is the finished closet job. Altogether, this took me 2 days, 1 day to actually mud it, and then another day to sand it. And I came back over the weekend to do that sanding. So if you live in the Genesee County area and you're looking for some drywall work, I'd be more than happy to come check out the job for you and give you a free estimate. I also do travel for work, and that's something I can communicate with you and we can figure out a happy medium for the both of us. Also, if you haven't liked or subscribed to the YouTube channel, I would appreciate that. Or give me a follow on Facebook, where you can see some of the various jobs that I have done in the past. Lastly, whatever time of the day that you're watching this, whether it be the morning, evening, or night, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks.